Hey guys, it's Big Nick here, and I'm here to give you my Payback review. As you all know, Payback was last night, Sunday. This is the Monday after, and we're gonna get right into it. But first, I'm just gonna give my overall opinion on the pay-per-view. It was a good pay-per-view. I wasn't saying it was the greatest one ever, but it was a good, solid one compared to Paybacks of past. Where'd I put it? I probably put it above 2015's, which was the worst. So I put it behind 2013, 14, 16, last night, and then 16. No, then 15, not 16. Idiot. Yeah, that's how I think about it. One of the better, good pay per view. Probably so far one of the better ones. Maybe the second best of the year after Mania. And maybe second best. You have WrestleMania, Payback, the Chamber, the Rumble, and Fastlane. Yeah, that's how I see it for the pay per view this year. Okay, we're gonna begin. First, we're gonna start off with the pre-show match, and it was the Club versus Enzo and Cass. Enzo and Cass got the win. Surprising, they actually won a tag team match. It was a bad match. Really nothing. Really nothing big happened in it. Just Enzo and Cass got like as Corey Grace said, stole the win. Kind of said they kind of got like a cheap win. If I recall, was it a roll up or something? I wasn't really paying attention to it because I was just waiting for it to finish. Okay, we're gonna go into the main card. First off, we have is the United States Championship match between Chris Jericho challenging Kevin Owens. New champion. Chris Jericho is now a two-time U.S. champion. Surprising, because isn't Jericho supposed to go to Fozzy? I mean, the wrestling gods predicted it. He was leaving after tonight. Well, not tonight, yesterday, but apparently not. So Jericho's now on his way to SmackDown. So that's a good thing there, because SmackDown now gets Jericho for however long he's there. Either that or they're just doing it for a way. Either that or Jericho's probably going to drop it tomorrow. Probably back to Kevin Owens. To make Kevin Owens a two-time U.S. champ and then have Owens and AJ feud. But as seen for Backlash, the booked match is Jericho and AJ for the U.S. title. Either that or they're just doing that to troll us. So it was it was a solid match. I'd say kind of better than the Mania, because this one was more fast paced. The one at Mania was a little bit slow. I wouldn't say a methodical pace. That's for later in the show with Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. But yeah, it was a better match, good match. Nice opener. Jericho won with the Walls of Jericho. Owens submitted because at WrestleMania, as we all know, Kevin Owens kicked out of the code breaker by touching the rope like this with his fingertip. So he did it again. He did it again last night in the Walls of Jericho, and that pissed Jericho off. So he like kicked his hand. He's like, the finger. Remember, he put Kevin Owens' finger on the list. I think it was was it the Superstar Shakeup week or the week after? One of them. I think it was the week after the Superstar Shakeup. I don't remember which week, but it was a few weeks ago. So yeah, then he would put him in. So then he's outside. Would put his finger in between the steps. You know, the little thing with the ring post and the steps, and then stomp the steps, kind of like destroying Owens' finger. It affected Owens to the point where he couldn't even do the pop-up powerbomb, which led to Jericho getting him in the walls, and apparently he couldn't reach for the ropes. This was his hand afterwards, going for the ropes like this, like, fucking tap. So, yeah, so Jericho wins the U.S. title. So congratulations to the GOAT, who is now on SmackDown, and it's the Jericho-Goat, not Jericho, Jericho. That's his new name, the Jericho. Get it trending. Next up we have is the Cruiserweight title match. Interesting lineup in these matches here. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but you'll probably catch it. Cruiserweight title match, Neville and Austin Aries. Good match. Was it better than the Mania one? Yeah, I'd say the Mania one was just a little bit better. Not by a lot, but a little bit. This one was a little fast paced. A lot of wrestling and stuff. High work rate between two of them. Nice story they're doing with it. Neville had to cheat to win. He cheated. He grabbed the ref, threw him down while Aries had him in the last chancery, so the referee disqualified him. So Aries gets the win via DQ, but Neville retains the title. So that's clearly started working. That maybe they do a thing where maybe the next time they go, it's going to be it's going to be all hell loose, and Aries maybe walks out on top. Story thing is, Neville gets some heat for cheating, having to cheat to win. So yeah, it was a pretty fun match. Nice-paced action, a lot of arm drags and stuff from Aries. Aries doing some of his vintage moves. Except Neville, he really didn't do that many of his old moves besides the speed kicks. Okay, so yeah, so good match. Next up we have is my opinion, probably match of the night, and that is the Raw Tag Team Title match between Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Hardys, Broken Hardys, whatever the hell they are. It was a fun match, very nice pace action. Sheamus actually legitimately knocked one of Jeff Hardy's teeth out. I think it was this one. I think it was one of these, if I recall. It's either this one or the one before, either the canine or the one before the canine. So yeah, he legit kicked him in the face, knocked the tooth out. Matt got cut. During the match, Matt got cut because he was bleeding for a minute. I saw first on his eye, then afterwards, when we get to the big part, he had like blood up here. So yeah, the Hardys win. Jeff Hardy doing vintage Hardy way. Jeff Hardy with the Swanton Bomb. Sheamus was going for the cover on Matt Hardy, and then Jeff was tagged in. So then Jeff would go hit the Swanton on Sheamus, who was laying on Matt. We also probably the biggest spot of the match was when Sheamus did white noise. Was off the second rope on Matt Hardy, just flattening Matt. He's showing that the Hardys, no matter how old they get, they're still taking big hits. I mean, fuck. Next up we have is good match. Best match, and a very good match. Fun. Could have been better, but maybe that's what I expect to go later. Because afterwards, after the match, after the little sportsmanship, Sheamus and Cesaro would turn heel, attacking the Hardys, beating the other living hell out of them. Cesaro taking Jeff Hardy into the ring post, grabbing him like this and pulling him into it, then having Sheamus bro kick him into it. Then Sheamus would bro kick the living hell out of Matt. Maybe it's a sign that they're gonna say that assault on the Hardys, because maybe that assault on the Hardys broke them. So yeah. Maybe they broke them. It's a fun match of the night, in my opinion. Next up we have is probably the second best match of the night, and that is the final title match of the night, and that is the Raw Women's Title Championship. Really good match. Nice to see Alexa and Bayley actually doing something good for the Raw Women's division, besides being put between Sasha and Charlotte, actually. Because usually the other Raw Women's Title matches, even the ones with Bayley and Charlotte, didn't feel as Sasha and Charlotte when they were doing that. This one actually felt kind of to that level. It was a very good match. We have a new Raw Women's Champion. That's Alexa Bliss. She won after Bayley, I think, Bayley had her pinned, and then she kicked out, and in the process she kicked out. She threw Bayley head first into the ring post. This is all you heard after that. This is all you heard. That's all you heard. And look, it even moved my damn camera. Yeah, that's all you heard. So then Bayley would try to get a pin, but wouldn't work. So then Alexa would win with a DDT because she had just had her head into the ring post. You heard that. Maybe not as loud, but you heard a slap. You heard a bang. So Alexa's the new Raw Women's Champion, making history last night as well by becoming the first, well, let's just say the only woman so far to have been the SmackDown Live Women's Champion and the Raw Women's Champion. Alexa now is already at 3 women's title reigns. She's already tied with Sasha, has more than Becky and Bayley combined. Charlotte, I believe, is at 4, so she's probably going to end up with her 5th soon anyway to become the 2nd woman to hold the Raw and SmackDown women's titles. So Alexa's already up there. Alexa, Sasha, she's up there with Sasha, Charlotte, Mickey, I think Michelle McCool, Lita, Trish for the most women's title reigns for at least 3+. Because I know others like Victoria, Molly Holly only had 2. Same with Jazz, I think. AJ's up there too. She had 3. But they were the Divas, but it's been converted to the women's. So yeah, it's a really fun match. Well, not as fun as the Hardys, but it was a good match. Probably the second best match of the night, in my opinion. So yeah, next up we have is the match we were all waiting for. The House of Horrors match. It was bad. It looked like a cheap, low-budget horror flick It felt like a low-budget horror flick, in my opinion. It was bad. It was bad that it was good to a point where it made you laugh. That's pretty much the purpose of it. It made you laugh because the whole time you can hear all the grunts magnified. That's all you heard pretty much the whole time. So it looked like Bray tried to make this house scary. We got dolls hanging in a room, making the little baby noises, making noises like that and stuff. Randy screaming, "Where you at, Bray?" Randy Orton showing up in a limo for some reason. I mean, it would have been better if he just showed up in a damn car. Shows up shirtless, but looked like he had jeans on the whole time. Who the hell goes to a fight shirtless wearing jeans? Randy Orton would get a fridge dropped on him. Look, Bray Wyatt looked like he had all his catchphrases in it. Follow the buzzards. We're here. It looked like that little dirt, but it's the dirt that he used. Dirt, but it looked more like freaking ink or lead. It was rubbed on the fridge. And then Bray leaves, gets into the limo and says, "Driver, take me to the arena." There goes that. We go back to the show, though. We get back to the live feed. The crowd is booing. Oh, yes, boo. Oh, yes, boos. I was like, I kind of expected that. They were stuck there for 10 minutes, probably just watching the screen and just didn't like it. So that was where the match stopped. It stopped. It didn't finish, no nothing. Bray didn't win by killing Randy with a damn fridge because, according to Cole, you had the match. One part of the match took place in the House of Horrors, but then you had to come back to the ring and win by pinfall, submission, or forfeit. So we're going to the next match, which is Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins. Really good match. This one was what I said earlier, the methodical, slow-paced match between two of the better wrestlers in the world today, Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. Seth got the win on a roll-up, probably to continue the feud. I don't see the feud ending there. Probably to continue the feud, like maybe a match like this week or on the up-and-coming weeks of Raw where Joe gets like either the chokeout win or his Uranagi style win, because he can't do the muscle buster apparently. The muscle buster. So it was a fun match. Seth got the win on a roll up. He didn't really go for his new finishing move, the flying knee style thing. Yeah, he wins on a roll up. Joe's face is perplexed. This is Joe's first loss on the main roster. Well, pinfall loss, because he's lost in a tag team match on Raw. Probably think another one. I think he lost in a couple other matches where Owens took the fall, I think. So yeah. It was a good match, more methodical pace. I probably expect the next match to be the better one, especially since we're now going into the summer. So, who knows what the feuds are for them going into the biggest party of the summer? Okay, and then we get back to the House of Horrors Part 2, where Bray shows up to the arena, goes to the ring, does his entrance. And as the lights come on, Randy's right behind him. So then they start fighting a bit. They do some looks like there was no DQ, some chair spots and stuff. Then as Randy Orton's setting up to get the win, the Singh brothers get involved, but formerly known as the Bollywood Boys. Randy fights him off, then he RKO's Bray. But then out of nowhere, with the title, the man who stole it last week, the meme that's taking over the world of Mahal in a limo holding the damn title up, cracks Orton upside the back with it. Then waits for him to get back up, cracks him upside the back again. Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail. Bray Wyatt wins. This House of Horrors match was the worst match of the night. I'm just saying it was bad. I kind of enjoyed the little house stuff. It felt like a low-budget horror movie. It felt like something that you obviously knew was fake. I enjoyed that part. I know many other people didn't. So now we go to the main event, which was Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. Braun Strowman won, beat Reigns clean, which very rarely happens. Then it was an okay match. Probably better than the one at I say the one at Fastlane was better because it lasted a little bit longer and they did more, even though Reigns won that one. So this one was a fun match. I think very good. Could have been better, especially for a main event for Payback, which is usually one of the better pay-per-views of the year. But still was okay. He had some good act. Reigns. I give him credit. He's probably one of the best seller on the roster. Probably the best seller on Raw. Because the other better sellers, Zayn and Ziggler, on SmackDown. Oh, and AJ. So Reigns really sold the arm, the rib injuries, the whole time he's coughing. Especially after what happened after the match. Braun Strowman comes in the ring, takes the steps, picks Reigns up, drops him on the corner of the steps. Rib first, apparently. Then he picks the steel steps up and drives them right into Roman Reigns' ribs. All you saw was Reigns then is apparently bleeding, but the problem was he kind of bled too fast because you look at the replay. You watch the replay of it. After he hit, after Reigns goes like this, you immediately the blood coming out. That shit don't happen that fast. They can make it. At least they didn't have. WWE probably should have caught a better camera angle on that one to show it and then show the blood. As Braun Strowman's walking away, everyone's talking about what are they going to do to stop him, and pretty much the pay-per-view ends with Roman Reigns' bloody face coughing as he doesn't want to be carted out of the arena. But shouldn't have ended there. Should have watched Raw Talk. I think that's what it was. Raw Talk for about maybe a couple minutes, because Reigns is being taken to the ambulance. As he's sitting in front of the ambulance, doors wide open. All he hears, "I'm not finished with you." Which I bet everyone was waiting for Braun Strowman to say his iconic line, "I'm not finished with you." Runs through it. Reigns moves, runs through the fucking ambulance door, goes through some fucking boxes, stays down for a minute. He's like this. Oh, that just made me laugh because that just made me cry laughing because all you heard was, "I'm not finished with you," and then he destroys the damn door. Then he tries to go out to Reigns. Reigns fights him off, slams the ambulance door into his face, and then Strowman just goes, "Oh," and leaves. And so that's pretty much how Payback ended. Ended for me on a funny note. I mean, for me, that's funny. All I heard was, I'm not finished," because I was waiting for it the whole time. I know everyone else was. I saw people on Twitter crying, laughing the moment it happened, because they were all people I know were going like this. I'm waiting for it. I'm not finished. He said it. And then he just obliterates the ambulance door. So yeah, Payback, I don't know, it was a good show. In my opinion, probably second best pay-per-view of the year. It is better. It's slightly better than Elimination Chamber, but not by a lot. Maybe a few points. Yeah, better than. So second best pay-per-view. Some very surprising decisions with, Jericho winning, Aries in the DQ, Alexa winning, Seth Rollins over Joe, kind of interesting. And of course, probably the best decision of the night was Braun Strowman going over Reigns clean. So now going to be a question is what's going to happen tonight in Raw, and the Raw's going in. Strowman going to want is he going to want Lesnar? Who knows? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys again. So thank you and bye.